So it's been a while since I posted anything. I wanted to kind of just show the J32B. This plane has been god awful and really frustrating. I don't know if I've had a worse experience than using this plane, but it doesn't really excel at anything. So it's really its only strength is its climb rate, right? We're talking battle rating, at least right now, of 9.7. So you're going to be facing, pretty often you get put with MiG-21s, MiG-19s, and F-4Cs. You'll get put with the F-8, and just against any of those aircraft, it's not competitive. It even struggles against Harriers. It struggles against the Yak-38 with that R-60. It struggles against everything. Its missiles are borderline useless. So, they're just AIM-9Bs essentially. So this plane's been pretty frustrating, but you need to use your climb rate to your advantage here. And so you can see in the beginning, I climbed up high. My first 2 kills in this are not that impressive. Again, like I said, the missiles on this, unless someone's just not paying attention at all, they're pretty useless. You can see right there, it looks like it's tracking, and the guy is going straight and nothing. So, I don't know if these, I know the AIM-9Bs at one time got a buff. I don't know if that applied to the Swedish AIM-9B, though, so these suck. I haven't used the American AIM-9B in a long time, so I'm not sure. So, another advantage this plane does have is it doesn't bleed a lot of speed in the turn. Granted, it doesn't turn well either. Its cannons are also very good, so you can see right there, I cut the wing off of the Harrier. I'm not going to try to attempt to final kill that Harrier. The Harrier is dead. This plane at slow speeds is god awful, so that's all you can do. Now, I got lucky here with the MiG-21 and led him and was able to get a kill there as well. So 2 gun kills in the beginning. My team dies pretty quick here. As you can see, they're going after a couple G91s and F-6. So you need to reset with this plane. You need to play pretty passively, and resetting with this plane is similar to the way you reset with the Phantom. You climb up and then come down. So that's all you can do with it. So you see me here trying to get a couple shots off. This fails completely again. I'm not sure if maybe that was a little ambitious shot with the AIM-9B, but either way, it's just not going to work out for now. So here I waste the rest of my rounds. I realize, oh, I'm out of rounds. So I have literally just one AIM-9B here, and there's really nothing I can do. Get good at defensive flying. You're going to see, I believe this guy fires a missile at me. Your only hope, really, yep, they're right there. So your hope is bait the missile in one direction. When it's about a half-mile away, turn the other direction. That works with what's the 10G missile that the F5 has. Whatever the 10G missile is, you need to wait till it's like 0.1 miles, 0.2 miles away if it's an A9J or if it's an R60. And in that case, I've had not a lot of luck outmaneuvering R60s in this. So if someone fires an R60 at you, you're pretty much fucked. So the rest of this gets kind of boring. What you're going to wind up seeing here is a little bit of cheap gameplay. So it's me and Votor left. That J29 lands at the wrong airfield. That's very common on this map. The correct airfield is the airfield behind it. Don't land on this one. You're going to be forced to take off again or to JAP. I don't know why they did that. Hey. So you're going to speed this up a little bit. I tried to go after the F5 here to no avail. So, a bunch of planes that outmaneuver me in every way. So I ditched out of this, and I said I was low on fuel. You're not seeing it here. I take 20 minutes in this plane. Seems to work out pretty well. 30 minutes, this thing's a complete dog. In 10 minutes, it runs with the afterburner. It runs out too quick. So 20 minutes seems to be my happy medium in this thing. So you're going to see a little bit cheap gameplay here. Right, I come to the airfield, and I use the airfield to my advantage. Now, I know some people people hate this methodology. You know, my opinion is, look, if you're outclassed completely and you have really no cards up your sleeve, if you're out of fuel, you got to go back to the airfield, right? If you see your opponent going to his airfield with the most recent update, with the roll-ins, with the improved AI at the airfield, I wouldn't bother. Unless you really can get in and out very quickly, I wouldn't bother, especially don't turn above the airfields. The airfields have become a lot better. So use the opportunity to ground and pound, use the opportunity to go back to your airfield to refuel and rearm. So you're going to see a couple situations here where these guys decided it was in their best interest to come after me right over my airfield. This G91, he gets hit with AA right away. So you can see he was going at a pretty good speed too. And he decided it was a good idea to come to me. So then I had a MiG-17 above me. This guy does not die to the airfield, but he doesn't get a kill off on me. So MiG-17 will outmaneuver this plane in just about every regard. I believe at speed you will roll better than a MiG-17. The MiG-17's roll rate sucks. At speed it compresses very easily. So I just kept forcing him over the airfield. I'm not going to go straight with him. I know he's got, I believe that's the AS, the MiG-17 AS, and he's got 2 missiles, 10G missiles. What are they, R3s? So he goes back home. Now I believe a Yak 38 is going to come out of the sky and try to make a beeline for me. I don't spot him. He's right there. I don't spot him until the last second. So I think I spotted him right about here. I was actually coming back. You can see I was putting out my air brakes, thinking I could probably land. And nope, there's a Yak 38 right there. I'm going to pull these in a second. So you see me, I don't know if I do pull them. I thought I did. But you see the Yak 38 makes a beeline for me, and he actually, so the Yak 38's not a great plane. He does get hit by AA, but then he just catapults right off the ground. Kind of a common Yak 38 thing. That plane's pretty awful too. The only saving grace is those R60s. So I believe that's it. Of the people, so 3 people who tried to shoot me down over my airfield, and it didn't work out so well for them. So landing this thing sucks. There's another plane that's awful, has no parachute or anything, so you're pretty much forced to break your wheels in an airstrip like this. So you'll see that's the only way you can stop in time. If I just applied the brake, I'd fly off the end of the runway. So I rearm, we'll fast forward through this. So now you're going to see a pretty good one-on-one dogfight to illustrate some of the strengths and weaknesses of the J32. I end up flying away from the airfield. Again, I'm kind of trying to put the airfield between me and my opponent just to get some altitude. Actually, their air base is over here, and that MiG-17 did rearm, so I could have probably gone a little bit further, but I wanted to just get out of the way of the MiG-17's anticipated path, which would be straight down, and just kind of get at a high altitude to stay above it. So I didn't see, there's an F5 that I didn't see. This F5 ends up successfully going for the Votor. You're going to see him in a second. I should have probably been paying better attention. There he is. Right, Votor lands, F5 shoots at him, and F5 is going to die. And very typical. So you'll see that I came back thinking maybe I could get a couple shots off on the F5. And he crashes, but gets the Votor in the process. So now it's down to purely just me and this MiG-17. So I don't play this the best that I could, so I climb, and I do spot the MiG-17. This is another, clue to maybe new players or players with premiums. If you're 1v1, don't take the most obvious path. So his airfield is here. The most obvious path to my airfield is straight down through the land. Don't do that. Come through the side. Hug the coast. There's a lot of options for you. This I can see. I can see him coming. Right? I do lose sight for a second here. But I can see, I'm keeping tabs on him this entire time. I'm above him. I have every advantage in the world right now. So I come down. I believe he is right there. I come down, I determine I cannot make that turn, right? He's turning into me. This thing does not turn well, so I power out. I'm actually a little over speed right here. This thing kind of wants to rip at like 730. So I pull the speed back. But all I can do is climb up and try to bait this guy into an altitude fight. Now, if he is smart, he's going to try to bait me into a dogfight, right? MiG-17 will outturn the J32 all day, every day. And even though the J32 is at 9.7 and the MiG-17 is at 9.0, even still, the MiG-17 still, I would say, has the advantage in a fight, in a one-on-one fight with the J32. I'm going to purely just, again, using the climb rate to my advantage. I believe either here or in a second you're going to see him shoot off a missile. I think it's next round, but again, I'm trying to get him, kind of energy trap him here. MiG-17 is not easy to energy trap because it still does climb pretty well. Not as good as the J32, but it still climbs well. And again, right here, you're going to see he tightens in this turn, right? You'll see him tighten in the turn under me, and that's the proper way to play the MiG-17. So kudos to him. I couldn't pull enough AOA. Just couldn't pull enough AOA, and I did not want to get into a rolling scissors with the MiG-17. Flat scissors, maybe I could have it, but I didn't even want to risk it. My best bet is to pull away. Again, get used to your defensive maneuvering. He fires a missile. I do the same thing. Bait it in one direction, and at the last second, turn it. Right, I didn't want to bleed too much speed because I want to keep my distance from the MiG, but that's your best bet here. So again, you can see I'm gaining distance on him. I'm going to go up a little here. It gets a little boring. Again, fighting, this is a very passive aircraft. It's not a fun aircraft to fly. It's not the F5 Tiger. It's not an A6M. It is a very, very passive, boring plane to fly. It sucks. So I try to turn into him thinking maybe I could get a head-on. My cannons are pretty good at it in a head-on. It's a lot of mass there. It's 430s. But he's just too high above me, and I'm not in a good position. He should have turned into me right here. I don't know why he extended. If he turned into me, he probably could have had it. But he extended. I climbed. Now I'm at a good pace. So sorry about that. Now I'm at a good pace, so I'm getting distance on him. I'm getting altitude on him. He seems to be playing the MiG-17 very passively, which is against the J32 is not the way you want to play it. If he's against the Sabre, maybe I can see him doing that, but against the J32, yeah. So you'll see me. I gotta come back and try to be aggressive with my guns here. It's the only chance I have. These missiles are useless. If I had the ability to drop them, I would. I don't know how to do that if you do have the ability, but you see he's kind of right in here. Now he's not tightening the turn enough, right? He needs to tighten the turn in more. What happens? He gets killed. He kind of flies straight. So 3 kills in a J32 for me is good. Others may have more luck with this thing. I find it to be absolutely awful. So that's how you play it. Play it passively. Use your climb rate. It does hold its energy in a turn really well, but the turning circle is awful. It doesn't pull a lot of AOA at all. So, and getting into a sustained rate fight on the deck is it's not doable in warfare. So that's that. Appreciate it.